This video provides a brief introduction to Deliverable 2 and a concrete example of how to complete a user persona. You can see here an example of a persona that has been created, cross-trained Krista, on the UXpressia platform. One thing to note, a user persona is a personalization of a particular market segment as it pertains to a particular industry. So here the focal industry pertains to fitness classes. So we will want to represent elements of Krista's personality here in general to make her come alive, but we're going to want to in particular focus on elements that are related to the industry and the particular market decision on hand. So let's go through each of these areas of the user persona. On the left here, we have demographics. This is pretty straightforward. Some background information about Krista that will help us understand who she is, where she lives, and what she does. The related skills section below is made with reference to the decision context at hand. So as I mentioned before, this has to do with fitness or choosing a fitness-related class. So we've got her cardiovascular, muscular fitness, and health and nutrition-related skills. Skills in the context of purchasing a cricket-based spice product might relate to cooking skills or health and nutrition knowledge. Moving further down, we see the technology component, and user personas will sometimes include this because knowing this information will help us understand how we can reach consumers. The previous experience section describes Krista's experience with other fitness studios. You can see here that the previous experience described is tailored to the specific context at hand, but can be represented in the abstract. For example, previous experience in the context of purchasing a cricket-based spice product might relate to experience with other alternative novelty food products. All right, let's go back up here to the top with the goals section. This section lists what the consumer wants to achieve at a broad level, what are their core life goals, so we can get a sense of the person, as well as the goal that is most relevant to the decision at hand. These might seem separate, but understanding what a consumer ultimately wants in life can help with the design of products and services as well as positioning. For example, by knowing that Krista is work-focused, a fitness studio might emphasize the benefits of their courses for her concentration at work, or they might offer classes or particular events tailored around work hours. So moving down one section, the quotes section just personifies the consumer and their goal. It really makes the consumer come to life. The background section is also supposed to make the consumer come to life, but you really want to balance detail with length. You want to provide enough information so that you could really picture this person going about their day-to-day life, in particular with reference to the problem context at hand. Note that we do not know anything about Krista's political views or the number of siblings she has described here in this background. That's because it's not relevant necessarily to her making a decision about fitness classes. Moving down the motivation section, let's make a distinction between motivations and goals. Motivations operate in the landscape of consciousness, the why in the consumer's mind, and the goals operate in the landscape of action. What is it that the consumer wants to achieve? So the motivations here describe what is the consumer thinking, what does she want, and why. This is pre-decision. This is before the consumer embarks on his or her journey. So for your specific deliverable, you'll be thinking about your user persona before he or she has made the purchase of Orchestra Provisions seasonings. So what is it that he or she might be generally motivated by when it comes to this product? What's going to attract her? And then frustrations, this lists general barriers that the consumer has experienced before the consumer has embarked on the journey. Ideally, we'll be able to position our product to overcome some of these frustrations. In an applied setting, a deep understanding of what the barriers your consumer faces are can help you as a marketer tailor your message. You then know what to emphasize in your marketing materials or communications or in product or service design. It links the benefits you provide to true problem solving for that consumer. And then finally, this bottom component here, brands and influencers, are important for things like communication, so we know how to reach this consumer, again, as with the technology component. If we understand what influencers the consumer attends to, we can know where to potentially place our messages, who would we want to select as a spokesperson. As well as helping us identify potential joint partnerships, co-branding opportunities, and then more broadly providing a general sense of what this consumer is into. So I hope this gives you a basic understanding of how to get started on your user persona assignment. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to meet with you one-on-one and answer additional questions you might have.